time for the wrestling event, Clash of the Champions. The ultimate tag team collision. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Sting, ravishing Rick Rude and stunning Steve. Plus, Metal Madness, Van Hammer, Cactus Jack. It's an old-fashioned free-for-all. Clash of the Champions. Live, 8:05 Eastern, Tuesday night on TBS.
I don't know, 14-inch cock. Limp. Just taking a piss outside his hut. Oh, are we recording yet?
Dude, I literally just hit record and I was about to.
Wonderful.
So yeah, the 14-inch cock you were talking about.
The new Game of Thrones thing, guys. Watch it. It's funny. It's also episodes are half an hour, so it's like it's not what you think it is. It's like it's crazy. It's like good stuff. Amazing. Good stuff.
My wife made a super dope crochet cardigan, and. Babe, the 14-inch cock. It's an HBO thing. So.
Oh, is she getting excited? She think Rodney was coming over tonight?
What'd you say? I said, is that supposed to make me feel better? No.
Come on, Mrs. Troubles. Where's Mrs. Troubles?
She's hanging out over here. She's doing her thing. Wow.
We're
leaving all this in, by the way. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Like, what are you talking about?
You're like. Jim got excited. He thought he was going to see a woman.
Jim was lamenting on the new Game of Thrones show. And the first scene is apparently him pissing. So there you go.
First scene, second episode. Yeah, first scene, second episode.
First scene, second episode. Got to get through the first episode. All that backstory of the cock. All right. Speaking of cock, we got a lot of cock talk tonight because this, you know what's funny? I'll be really honest with you. I had blinders on in terms of WCW this week. I was like, WCW, what? No, I'll watch that when I watch that. And then I don't know what happened. It came to me in a literally just out of the blue. I was listening to some fucking Between the Sheets episodes, and I was on January of 92. And the first thing is they're like, January 8th, Jim Herd resigns from WCW. And I went, wait. That's what we're talking about this week? Oh, shit. Now I love this. Now I got to dive fucking in. And I dove in. For the first time ever, folks, we have newsletter material. And it is tremendous. Because let's be real, you can admit the TV was like, what the fuck ever. And you even messaged me. You were like, what happened? So
it's here's the thing we have to accept is, right? It's hard to access this period of time. It doesn't exist because the gatekeepers of wrestling are too busy licking boot.
Yeah, the boot licking.
So I mean, really, I feel like the only thing I watched was Main Event from January 12th. Maybe you can. I can try to find. I don't know when that was recorded.
Hold on, I actually got.
So
let me find this.
So I don't know if it was pre-heard or post-heard.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so the Main Event 112, only episode watched. But the episode opens with Missy Hyatt calling Medusa E.T. And I have no idea. Is she saying her face is wide? Like her belly is distended? She likes Reese's Pieces? I'm not sure what. Medusa is a very lovely lady.
Yeah.
E.T. she is not.
No.
So I don't know what kind of comment that was, but it caught my attention and is my very first note for this episode. We get Ricky Steamboat versus Bobby.
Okay.
And Medusa E.T., she comes out and she looks like she's dressed like Medusa Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah.
She looks like she's about to lead like a marching band down the street. Shoulder pads with like streamers hanging down. It's wild. This has Steve Austin versus Van Hammer, which you know that's gonna be a banger. And then it has Cactus versus Ron.
Oh my god!
And that's the thing. You go, oh, Cactus versus Ron. That sounds fucking dope. But But this is really kind of the match where I realized Ron has no Riz right now.
No. He's just
the crowd is chanting. The crowd is behind him.
Yeah.
But Ron comes out, I don't know. He looks like his dog is dying. Like, he doesn't look like he believes in himself even as he comes out to the ring. Like, he has no shine to him anymore. So it just, like I said, that was kind of a sad thing where I'm just like, oh, Ron lost Teddy and Butch and like got that match versus Lex and, don't do drugs, kids, and all that kind of stuff. And he lost that match and he lost his charisma, apparently. His charisma multiplier went down. By the end of that match, Larry Zbyszko showed up. I was like, okay. And then Abdullah shows up and hits Larry. So it just gets very confusing. It's like Cactus and Abby don't like each other anymore, and I don't know if I can handle. I might have to quit. If we're getting an Abby Cactus breakup, I don't think I can handle this in the current political environment.
Yeah, I think that it really is we can't send that message. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we may have to skip. We might fast forward like three events. I mean, let's face it, WCW. They'll drop it in a week. We're fine.
We're lucky that I guarantee you the next week we start watching, it'll be completely dropped and they'll be tagging again. And they might even have the tag titles at this point. Who knows? It is fucking nuts to think about this time period, because when I found out that this is Jim Herd getting the fuck out of their time, I was like, oh, here we go. And I read into like everything going on in the world. And you know what else was going on in the world was the first real like beginnings of conversations about steroids in the WWF. And it was superstar Billy Graham. And there's a very interesting quote from him, and I'm paraphrasing, about, he said in 1983, now mind you, Superstar was the top man in New York in the late 70s. However, he claims he had never been around cocaine or offered it until Hulk Hogan offered it to him in 83. And he said, I don't think I need to go down that road. And Hogan said, good, brother, because it's one of the worst things to get off, and did a rail in front of him. And I'm thinking there's a lot of things that don't make sense about that. However, I don't doubt he did it.
I'm going to go on a limb and saying somebody with money in New York in the late 70s may have possibly inhaled cocaine. I would put money on that. Like, FanDuel had that bet, I would take it.
I would take it.
I don't care what it's paying.
Yeah. I think you couldn't walk down the street in New York City in 1978 without getting cocaine air into your lungs. I think if you walk down the street in New York from like 1975 to probably, let's be honest, like 1985, I think you probably will get, if you stand still in the street, I feel like all those particles go into your fucking lungs and you're just on cocaine at that point.
Okay. So if a TARDIS landed in my yard, and a new doctor came out looking for a companion, I feel like 1977 through like 80 New York would be one of the top 20 periods I would go for, probably in my top 10, but definitely in my top 20. So that'd be a spot I'd be like, let's fucking go there. I'm going down to the Bowery, and then I'm going to get killed by Son of Sam just for shits and giggles. Because I'm traveling time. Yeah. I can't die, or I fuck up the future, and maybe everything's better for you guys.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm willing to take that risk if it actually worked.
Trust me.
Just
anyone
saying,
that wants to go back and listen to episode 2 of this fucking podcast, I can tell you from my experience, you need to be around, brother.
Our current timeline tells me nobody ever discovers time travel.
No,
it never gets discovered because
we just keep recycling ourselves.
This is what we're going through.
And recycle would be the best case scenario for us after this fucking doom and gloom, dude. But anyway, yeah, so that's nuts, man. Like, everything, the shit in all of wrestling is hitting the fan in January of 1992. And it's very, very interesting, too, because there is a very clear sort of line of delineation with Jim Herd's employment with WCW, and it really does boil down to July 1st, 1991, Flair leaving WCW. That was the Waterloo for Jim Herd. And he even says, actually, in Matt Watch with Steve Beverly, it wasn't just a hotline show. He really did a newsletter, and I do have access to it because we've already discussed I'm fucking crazy. And in that newsletter, he says that Jim Herd straight up says the worst thing I ever did was let Ric Flair go. But then it's weird. And this is the thing with Jim Herd, and a perfect glimpse into why the fuck WCW was fucked with him from the beginning. It's because he says, on one hand, it was the worst thing he did. And then on the other, he still says, but he was impossible to deal with. We couldn't come to an agreement. Well, if you're saying he's the best wrestler ever and him leaving fucked you, wouldn't you think that proves that he wasn't too hard to get along? Come on, Jim. Like, what the fuck? And what's weird too is ratings went up when Flair left. That's a weird anomaly that I don't know because we've watched the shows and holy shit, buddy. Not a lot there.
Okay. What I would maybe throw at you there is the fact that Flair, if I recall, left like June-ish, July-ish. It's summertime. Other shows go down. It's summertime. I don't know if wrestling, like the ratings take a dip in summer like normal TV does. So maybe that's a thing.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. Well, and it is mentioned even back in that time that they said a lot of it was, no opposition with football yet, Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's just kind of bizarre because the shows did not reflect like a better reason to watch by any means, really. I would say until October when Rude shows up.
Okay, so, right, we basically established there's no real TV to watch for this period. It seemed like every match that we've already seen 47 times. So We're going to get to Clash 18 now. Mm-hmm. But I had some time on my schedule where I was like, you know what? I want to see what WWE was doing. So I put on Royal Rumble 92 as well.
Dude, yes.
And so we'll go through this a little bit, but then I also want to kind of touch back because it is literally just like they took everything that was cool in WCW besides the Steiners and Sting, mm-hmm. and that's all in WWF now.
Yeah.
It is fucking insane. So yeah, I just want to kind of cut over as we're watching Big Josh versus whoever. We'll go over and see what the distinguished competition is doing.
Yes, let's please. And I don't have the entire card in front of me here, but I do know the two major things that happened. Obviously,
I got
Rumble. Yeah, you got it. Perfect.
Oh, for the Rumble, yeah. I mean, they even had good matches. So there's a dark match. Chris Walker, I don't know who that is. I'm not clicking the link. Was defeated the Brooklyn Brawlers. So maybe it's actually somebody.
Yeah.
And the first match we saw was the New Foundation. Mm-hmm. Jim Neidhart and Owen Hart. Remember him? Yeah. He was here for like 2 episodes. Jim Neidhart and Owen Hart are taking on the Orient Express. Kato and Pat Tanaka with Mr. Fuji. Nothing horrible said in that match at all. By the way, Bobby Heenan is on commentary, but I love him so much. Heenan and Monsoon are just great. I love them. Yes. It's my childhood. In the next match, Bret Hart had been injured. He was Intercontinental Champion. He got injured at a house show. Mountie won the title. Uh-huh. So Mountie comes into Royal Rumble as the Intercontinental Champion and loses to Roddy Piper, who was a face, which is really cool. Go ahead.
I actually have a pertinent piece of newsletter information for you that is going to blow your mind.
Hit me, bruv.
Because it blew my mind. And this was a thing that was in the Meltzer dirt sheet, Jesus, whatever, newsletter, as well as Steve Beverly's. And I'm sure the Torch, I don't know, but I'm sure it was. But it was one of those, like, just by the way, and I can't believe it's a by the way now in hindsight. So this is real. WCW agreed to terms with Bret Hart to come in at this very moment. That is why he dropped the title to the Mountie. He was leaving. Here's where it was a weird WWF It's interesting. I wonder what happened here. So apparently they agree, his agent, everybody. Then his agent calls him and goes, "Oh shit. So your negotiation window in your little contract expired. So you roll over the WWF deal." And it just kaputted. But I never heard anything from Brett about this. This is confirmed. This is like confirmed by people in companies from both sides. This was happening. You can imagine, dude, with Rick Rude, with Sting firing on all cylinders. He's about to win the world title. Oh, the other thing, by the way, with Luger is WBF is not a thing mentioned with him. It is he's retiring from wrestling. And then it comes out later that it's because WBF's starting. Vince wants him to be the top guy in this WBF. I believe that's around the time he has the motorcycle accident where he gets injured, gets the metal plate in the forearm. That ends up being his WWF finisher forever. Yeah, so this is a wild time. And when you mentioned Piper winning the IC title, the only title he ever won in WWF, by the way, which blows my mind. 520 against the Mountie. Yeah, so Brett was leaving.
And the story they kept pushing, Gorilla kept pushing, was the whole night was that Roddy has the chance to make history as the first person to win the world title and the Intercontinental title in the first night. So once he did this, it was like, oh, he gets like even more of a standard. So next match, just a fun one. It's the Beverly Brothers with the Genius.
Yeah.
And they defeat the Bushwhackers with Jameson. Literally 15 minutes. It's longer than the Piper match. It's longer than the next match. The next match is the Natural Disasters versus defeat the Legion of Doom by countout.
Oh my God, that was terrible, I assure you.
It was like, so yeah. I mean, it's just this is the kind of when it occurred to me, like the Hard Way had done that SummerSlam, I think it was, and it feels like I'm like, I think this is after that, I think. So I'm like, it's even so it was not good. Minutes, and then it's the Rumble that's won by Ric Flair.
Yep,
and so
minutes.
It's fun, but I mean, okay, so looking at this thing real quick, Jerry Sags, I remember him. We haven't watched we didn't get Big Bubba Rogers, did we?
We did not. Right around the time we started really doing our deep coverage is when he jumped to WWF. He jumps to WWF like, I want to say late 88, and he was in UWF, which we didn't talk about because it was on the way out. It was going away. So, yeah, very interesting.
Erwin R. Shyster. In this Rumble, we get The Undertaker. In this Rumble, we get Colonel Mustafa. In this Rumble,
hell yeah.
We get Sid Justice in this Rumble,
yes.
And so you just kind of see. I mean, it ends silly as fuck. And you know what? The one thing I kind of realized is I feel like as I've gone back and watched WWE stuff, I think I've seen Hogan in at least 2 battle royals, and he is such a bitch. I hate people who are bitches when they get eliminated from a battle royal, and then I'm like, dude, it's the fucking rules. Like, what the hell?
You want to know the final 4 of this one? By the way, it's very intriguing. It's a very interesting look into where WWF was gonna go in '92. Of course, Flair wins it, so he's in. Hogan, which you mentioned, because he's second to last out. Last out is Sid Justice. The 4th is Macho Man. He was in the final 4 as well. So you look at that, and it's like, well, they were going to give Sid. So the whole story was Sid. I don't know if you even realize this. And
the funny thing is, I didn't even mention Rick for the other WCW cast-offs for this. So and Rick broke the record here. This is one where Rick broke the record when a little bit over an hour.
Yep. This was the original big Iron Man push for him. Of course, it ends up being really kind of nothing by like what I think May. He's dropping the belt to Mach, and Vince kind of got bored. But this was it. And then of course the promo at the end. With a tear in my eye, put that cigarette out by Gene. It's just like this was probably the last year of the like golden era, right? Like for you guys, like, you know, it's like mid to late 80s is the beginning with Hogan, and then the peak is late 80s, and then like by 92 we're done, you know.
Fuck, you know what? I'm going to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it is a bit of like Husker Du. And as I recall,
Okay.
if I recall, Ric Flair is a Minnesota boy, right? Originally.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it fits perfectly as a comparison of, you know, Ric Flair is down in the Indies and not the Indies, you know, WCW, the regionals,
Yeah.
WCW, kind of that second level, fucking tearing shit up, and then signs to a major label.
Yeah.
And that album goes corporate, and it's kind of just a bit of a downhill from there. But fuck, it tore shit up when they were on SST.
Right.
And so, like, you know, that's kind of how I'm going to look at it. And I'll say, I think I fucking nailed that for freestyling it.
You did. That was good.
Ric Flair is Husker Du without all the females being assaulted.
There you go. Yeah. So there is always that, and you know, who knows what that party was like. So in Albany, New York, actually it's Albany, New York, you know, that's probably the best place for Flair to win a title, because you can only go so crazy in Albany, especially in late January, you know. Jesus.
Rick's like, we're snowed in. I don't know. Is there a cleaning lady around? Who can I harass right now?
100%. There's only two little like backstage dealios that I want to hit before we start talking about the main show. I love this, and I sent this to you. So, you know, the really beginning of the end for Jim is Flair leaving. Well, I didn't know till I started doing digging. October's when the nail went into the coffin, and it's interesting how. So you remember how Paulie just was not on TV for like that month, and we were like, what the fuck happened? Well, now we know what happened. Jim just impulsively suspends Paulie as a shoot off TV. He must have just rubbed him the wrong way. Like, nobody understands. It's Paulie, so to be honest, I'm sure he said some stupid shit like he always does. The issue is it's Paulie, and he immediately goes to the news outlets. He goes to the dirt sheets, and he's like, fuck this guy, he's crazy. He starts airing out all the dirty laundry about how he's just like taking over fucking creative. Eddie Gilbert, his best friend, goes into all the little dirt sheets, starts, you know, chirping. It apparently gets to Jack Petrick, the fucking president of WCW, and he starts like freaking out, panicking. So that's where you start seeing that Paulie comes back for Havoc. You get him paired with Rude. Apparently the Rude thing was a separate situation. They went, fuck it, this is a perfect way to bring it in. A rare WCW, let's be honest. They almost never fucking nail it, especially when they're trying to improv off the top of their ass. They have no idea what they're doing. So then we see all this scrambling with all the weird. We remember how like Jim is doing commentary by himself and shit. So that's like Jim trying to fuck with shit again. Crockett sees this power vacuum, Jim Crockett, and starts like taking over the booking a little bit slowly. He's like, all right, he gets the trust from everybody. That's where we start seeing like Steamboat comes in, apparently right from Crockett coming in and just sort of like steering the ship. So Jim Herd is already out the door at this point. And then the news comes out that Luger is just going to fucking leave and retire. And that's when they finally are like, we can't do this. So that's where we're at. Jim just was fucked. And then another fun little thing. Eddie Gilbert married fucking Medusa at this time. That's the kind of pull this motherfucker had in the world. So
what's Eddie doing right now?
He is
like, where is he?
He is booking Global Wrestling Federation, which at the time was on ESPN every day, every weekday. And it was a thing, you know, it's one of those things in wrestling that people don't talk a lot about, but you go back and at one point they had Terry Funk, Eddie Gilbert was booking.
He's kind of Jeff Jarretting.
Yes, very great comparison. He is Jeff Jarretting for sure. He's keeping himself, you know, it's like that Dusty quote, you know, you never take yourself out of the game. That's what Eddie's doing right now. He knows he's kind of on the skids. Maybe that substance abuse went a little too much for WCW. Who knows? I don't know the story, whatever. I don't want to speculate, obviously. But you can't ever fucking say that he was not a brilliant politician in the back, man. Like, how many fucking chances can you get? And speaking of chances, WCW, buddy, here we go. Another Clash of the Champions where we feel like, what in the fuck is this company? We're in Topeka, Kansas.
This is one of the first times I really appreciated the intro video. Because I was like, I have no clue what's going on. Tell me what the fuck's going on.
And it was well done, and it was very current for the time. I was like, wow, this is very on the pulse of 1992, man. Very like 90s grunge look with the static effect. I was like, okay, it's not just colors for no reason. That's a positive.
Honestly, I'm going to admit, I enjoyed this. It felt like an improvement over so much of what we've been watching recently. Again, not gonna say it's great, but at least there's spots where I'm like, oh, I could see possibly good things to come.
Yeah, absolutely. In hindsight, when I think about it, doesn't it look like Jim Ross is walking to the gallows with this Jesse Ventura information, right? Now that we know. And Tony's just grinning from ear to ear because all that politicking that was going on in the back, JR trying to keep his ass on syndication. And he's like, hey, I'm willing to play ball here. Jim's probably not.
I'm kind of shocked how much notes I have. So yeah, we're good to go. Yeah,
me too,
we opened the show with JR and Tony, and then we've got the side area with Eric and Missy. First match we get, and we talked about it last time. Threaten me with a good time. Vader and Mr. Hughes versus the Steiners.
Oh my god. This was incredible, man. I was like, this is the opener of the Clash. It's like funny to think in 6 months, Vader's the world champ. That's awesome. So this is like the beginning of his run in a weird way, even though he's losing to the Steiners.
Like, I'm not sure how we got here. I'm not sure why the Steiners wouldn't be challenging for like the tag team championships at this point. They do let us know that Ricky Steamboat's on the hotline.
Yes.
If you want to call right now, if you want to call right now, he's going to be on the hotline for another 20 minutes.
It's 25 minutes after the hour.
Come on, kids. Give us this money. This isn't a pay-per-view. We got to make it somehow. Yeah. So Ricky's on the hotline. And then there is a huge back body drop in this match.
Yes.
I think I'm Mr. Hughes. And literally, he goes about 10 feet in the air and then comes down. And match ends with a top rope bulldog. Like, it's just like dudes who aren't afraid about hurting each other having a great match together.
Yeah, this is one of those like TV WCW throwaway matches that is worth going back to watch. I even said like Vader and Rick working together. I'm like, they should have done some like shoot style Japanese shit later, like when they both were like gone and shit in like the mid 90s, they should have like just went to UWFI and wrestled or something. But
it's just a great open. It's like for once, it's like a great open for a show. It's a really hot open for a show, and we haven't gotten that in quite a bit.
No. And they did not waste time. I was like, okay, match over. And then like fucking Tracy and Taylor are walking down the ring. I'm like, God, we have no time. They complained today about AEW. Like, they just have matches after matches. No, fucking WCW 92 with Kip Frey at the helm. I mean, dude, there was like nothing between these matches. They were literally walking out while Vader and fucking Hughes are like limping to the back. It was crazy. I was like, wow. All right.
I think because there's literally I don't know what our story is with Flying Brian and Marcus Alexander Bagwell versus the Tailor-Made Man and Tracy Smothers. And I'm literally so confused because like the Tailor-Made, so the York Foundation is no more. It appears. They mentioned during this, because the Tailor-Made Man comes out, and I'm like, oh, he's split off from the York Foundation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but he's still a heel. So, like, what happened? So I got so confusing for a moment. Like, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Why are you a Tracy Smothers and not, like, one of the other, like, 3 guys that were in the York Foundation? So we missed that story, but it just dissolved for whatever reason. But the Tailor-Made Man, don't worry. Still a heel. And Tracy Smothers. And I say the crowd's hot for the match. It's a good crowd this time.
Oh, yeah.
And I just wrote down basically I feels like the direction that was given before this match was okay. I'm going to call Marcus Alexander Bagwell Mab. It's just Mab. And so Mab, they told Mab before the match, like whatever Brian does, do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you see Brian do that, just do that same thing. Because it's basically just like at work where you're like, oh, to shadow this guy. That's what they did with Brian Pillman here. Brian Pillman is like assistant to the regional manager and is helping Mag out in regards to what to do in a match, because he just Pillman does a drop kick, Mag does a drop kick.
Yeah.
Pillman hits a clothesline, Mag hits a clothesline. Just follow the leader. There is a suplex to the floor.
Yes.
And I thought there was also a broken neck.
Me too. I was like, what the fuck? Because the thing is, Terry doesn't fucking go all the way with it. He just like crimped down in a weird way. So yeah, his neck like did not bend well. And then he just crumples to the floor. And I'm like, dude, if you're going to do a fucking vertical suplex to the floor, you got to take the bump too, man. There's no, like, what are you doing? You just like shit toss the guy to the side. Man, that was crazy.
It was rough looking. JR makes the comment because he has to throw a sport in, of course.
Of course.
And I understand he's getting to the point that if you weren't aware, Brian Pillman is from Cincinnati, and he was also a Bengal. Yeah. But he calls Brian Pillman WCW's Charlie Hustle.
Yeah.
And I said, is he betting on wrestling? Like, what kind of comparison are we even making here? I literally have no clue what you're talking about, JR. I'm guessing he's betting on the matches because he read the script beforehand. Yeah. Bagwell is green as Kermit. Yes. His punches are awful. And I am not a person who like literally go back and listen to like 50 episodes and go, how many times does Jim talk about somebody's punch? Like you'll tell me like, oh, this person's a great punch. I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus Alexander Bagwell is not that guy, at least at this point. Because I feel like he's missing them by about a ruler. Yes. A ruler's worth. And that's just too far. Or the cock from the guy from the second episode of the new Game of Thrones game.
Yeah. He's definitely, I mean, he's jacked like that. Holy fuck. I was like, you're on the food, brother. God damn. Tell me you're on fucking anabolic steroids without telling me that, Marcus. Holy shit.
Oh, no, they are definitely, and it's like, just do whatever Pillman does.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
Dose he does.
Okay. Even the yes.
Shoot.
Okay. So they mentioned that Jushin Thunder Liger won the title at that show that they were pimping.
Yeah.
But like, why isn't he here like defending the title or something? It just feels kind of weird, man. But weird. Thanks. He did defend it in Japan, and he will be at the next pay-per-view. So they're kind of building him up as an attraction. Mm-hmm. I accept that. I'll take that, especially for such a division they obviously have no plan for besides just throw somebody at Liger. Absolutely. The next match is the match that you didn't know you wanted and you actually didn't want. Yeah. It's Richard Morton versus Johnny B. Bad.
Oh man, this sucked. This was literally watching a guy wrestle nobody.
And I'm like, is he the prettiest in WCW? These are the questions you ask yourself as you watch Johnny B. Bad versus Richard Morton. But yeah, it's just why? I'm good. I don't need this. I'm fine.
I'm really good. And I mean, Richard literally dog walked him through this fucking match. There is a point where he is on him, punching him, and he's just talking him through it. He's just like, brother, I'm going to get up and you're going to fucking hit your shit, buddy.
There was definitely a bit of that going on this show. Okay. Then the next segment.
Yeah.
Here we get Eric. We get Eric interviewing Pillman and Johnny B. Bad. Yeah. My first note on this is I rewound it because sometimes whatever, we're doing extracurriculars, right? Yeah. And so you get to the point you hearing things and you go, wait, what the fuck did he just say? And then you rewind it. And it's Brian Pillman again, and he did this before. I think also with Japanese people.
I think so.
I think so. So Eric's interviewing them, and they want Liger's title.
Yeah.
Johnny B and Brian both want it. Johnny B places a kiss on Eric's cheek, which, listen, man, I'm like, it makes me laugh. It's funny.
So
Brian's animosity towards Liger is the fact he's Japanese.
yeah.
The reason he doesn't like Liger is he's Japanese. Damn you, Toyota, with your rebates. He's out here talking about rebates for Japanese cars and factories shutting down. And I definitely know that if he were still alive today, he would be making America great again. I am 1,000% confident that Brian Pillman would be trying to make America great again. Yeah, he's just out here just bashing on Japanese people, and that's why I don't like you.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I say to you? Suck a dick, and I'm glad he beat you for the title.
Yeah.
And then Brian or Johnny kisses Pillman. And then Pillman punches Johnny. And I'm like, is Pillman a face? I don't even fucking know.
Who knows? I mean, it is 92. Maybe he's a baby face for 92. Who knows? At least in
Okay.
Georgia.
All right. Okay, so we just came off the hotness that was Johnny B. Bad and Richard Morton. So we move on from that.
Oh.
And now we move on to PN News and Diamond Dallas Page. I have 0.0 notes.
Dude, I will actually read all of my notes right now. Holy fuck, is DDP the walking gimmick already? Top hat and all, and of course he has to wrestle PN. I think I hate PN more than I do Phil Brooks, and that says a lot. The hotline poll question of the night is, should Paul E. Dangerously be allowed ringside for Rick Rude's U.S. title defenses? Yes, he should. PN wins. Boo. That's it.
Yeah.
What else is there to say?
I got nothing. Okay. And then Tony Schiavone is out. And people who are AEW fans will recognize when Tony will let us know. There's a major announcement tonight.
Yeah.
And I think this one's major, not important. So Tony Schiavone is out with an announcement. He introduces, guys, wait for it, K. Allen Frey.
Yeah. What'd you think?
And the crowd went fucking nuts.
Topeka was
for K. Allen Frey.
They love mal-pattern baldness. They love
it's like when they bring out the accountants at the Oscars.
Yes, and we gotta really bring up, there are multiple executives that get drug out to this ramp, and they do not want to be there.
Okay. Ryan Reynolds, I know he's a very controversial figure in the world. I personally enjoy him. He, at one point, dated Alanis Morissette. And then his next lover was Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
K. Allen Frey to Jesse Ventura was an equally sized jump for me. I had no clue Jesse Ventura was coming out.
Yeah.
And to go from K. Allen Frey to Jesse Ventura, I was like, what the hell is going on here? And now you talk about the steroid stuff, like, kind of makes sense. And you were trying to figure out where I was going with the Ryan Reynolds thing. I know you were. But yeah, it's just that upgrade of just surprise or enjoyment from a change in focus. And one thing I do want to mention with Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
And we're about probably, we're about 5 years away from this.
Uh-huh.
But when I was in college, junior year of college was the first time I had access to Comedy Central. And that's right about when South Park was debuting.
Yep.
And The Daily Show.
Yes.
With Craig Craig Kilborn.
I remember this very well. I was 7 years old.
And they had a news segment at one point.
Yeah.
And the news segment was with Minnesota gubernatorial candidate Jesse Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a joke they did joke. It was different than it is now. They did a lot more in the field interviews, kind of, that I don't think they do anymore. It's more commentator centric. And in the day, it was more kind of the subject of the interview. And they were interviewing Jesse Ventura, and I remember laughing. And then a year later, he was governor of Minnesota, and it was fucking crazy, man. So that's my Jesse Ventura kind of at this time is just a weird, but it was cool.
Apparently, he had been out of wrestling for 18 months while he was on trial. So this is the whole thing of why he was gone. He sued Vince for royalties and won. Jesse Ventura is one of the only people to ever beat WWF in court, and he did it. That's why, by the way, anyone from WWE that gets royalties for anything, you literally have to thank Jesse Ventura for that, because he noticed. He was like, dude, I'm not getting any cut of these VHS sales. And Vince is like, fuck you. Why? You're a commentator. And he went, bet. And they won. And so that's why he was gone for 18 months, just trying to win that thing. So what a big fuck you, right? Like, it makes you really want to like this motherfucker, though. You know, I know, again, you want to talk about controversial people. I know. He's like the 9/11 bleh guy, right? Like, I know. He became a living meme. But, like, dude, at this time, he was boss as fuck. He literally beat Vince in court and then went to his competitor, man. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was cool. And except for me, it just kind of came out of nowhere. It was not expected for me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was like, wait, fuck, Jesse, like it was just literally like you're standing out and like a flash mob breaks out or something. Yeah. I had no clue what was happening all of a sudden. They get into Lex's seclusion.
Yes.
Because we haven't seen him much. He's chosen not to wrestle. But then they announced that at the next pape, it'll be Sting versus Lex.
Yeah.
So hyping us up for that. Excited for that because, you know, Lex just shows up when he wants to, kind of. Yeah. Next match we get, Cactus versus Van Hammer in a fall. At first I was like, oh, we just saw this.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, it is a Falls Count Anywhere match. And then my whole opinion changed.
This ruled. Cactus gives Hammer his first dose of CTE. He does a fucking sunset flip onto just concrete and kills his spine. And I still to this day do not understand what his logic was. Like, what, dude? You didn't think that you're the bump taker in that? And like, I love how green Hammer is the perfect combination for something so stupid, is that he had someone as green as Hammer to be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, no one else. Like, if he was in there with Arn would have went, God damn, Cactus, no, we're not doing that. You're a fucking idiot.
And okay, and the thing is, right, it's not a Falls Count Anywhere match.
No.
Like, they go out to the parking lot. Yeah. And in 92, that wasn't like the normal.
No.
And so, yeah, and so like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, they're in a fucking parking lot?
Yeah, rule.
Missy is following them as the intrepid reporter she is, screaming, do something! She yells, do something approximately 87 times. And I'm like, girl, it is a wrestling match. This is what happens.
Yeah.
JR. There's an animal pen. There's an animal pen there. So I think they're kind of coming up, but, you know, it's Kansas. There's going to be some animal pens. JR says, the shovel, something about a shovel. Oh, I know Abdullah comes out right with a shovel to kind of interfere at the end. Hit me at the end. I wrote a note here and I can't read my damn handwriting.
Here we go.
They end up at the animal pen. But no, it is literally just them just moving through the arena, going outside. This match is 10 minutes long.
Wow.
It is our longest match to this point in the evening, and fucking worth it. And bless you, science bless you, Van Hammer. Because you fucking went along. Cactus Jack recommended shit, and you were like, yeah, I'm down.
Absolutely. He was
science bless you.
So literally the finish was it was Abdullah walks up like a big old fucking cowboy, like he belonged, and he just grabbed a shovel and fucking caved in Hammer's spine, and Cactus just pinned him in the dirt, and it ruled a lot. Actually.
I know what I wrote down here. And JR's saying like the shovel was meant for Cactus. And I'm like,
oh yeah, what?
like somebody has his back in front. Like, how would it be meant for Cactus? Cactus is on the other side. I think Abdul understands physics. But that's what I wrote down was JR is trying to paint this story for us that did not happen on the screen. He's trying to gaslight us.
He's gaslighting the fuck. He's been watching Fox Nation, brother. Come on.
Oh, and then we end with we end with Abby puts Missy in a water trough.
Yeah.
And then Abby goes and brawls with Cactus.
I wonder why she sued number 723.
Oh my God.
Man.
The next fucking match.
Dude.
Go ahead. You do.
This is a whole thing, buddy. So
hit me.
This was supposed to be a whole big music video reveal. There was a new song for the Birds, buddy. This is
Jesus.
That's why they kept putting over the new Freebirds. So they were stupid because this is WCW, and the audio got like wired funky, and so they cut it out of this version that we watch. But there is the most awkward moment of all time where Hayes and Jimmy Garvin are supposed to be lip syncing to this video, right? And there's no audio, and they look like the biggest fucking idiots you've ever seen in your life. And they got to just eat it and then go wrestle. And it's so bad, dude. I've only seen the video, and I swear to God, it was like up and now it's gone. And it's so funny, man. He's just like standing there looking at like the back, like, what are we doing? And then they got to go wrestle Brad Armstrong and Big Josh. Holy shit.
The match is only 3 minutes. So we look out there. They are, okay, so we get Big Josh and Brad Armstrong versus the new Freebirds.
Oh, my God.
The new Freebirds of Michael PSAs and Jimmy Garvin.
Yeah, the same old.
And literally, it's just, they changed their wardrobe. Like, they don't wear the rebel flag anymore. Like, that's the difference. Like,
that's it.
They're woke. Are they now woke? So it was just like this weird thing. I didn't quite understand. I'm like, and they're going against Big Josh and Brad. So I'm like, they're still heels.
Yeah.
But I never know what the fuck their alignment is. They're just, chaotic neutral or whatever. But yeah, 3 minutes. I got nothing. They just changed their wardrobe and they're the new Freebirds. Like, I literally thought we were going to have like a new member. I'm like, I missed, I feel like I was robbed in this experience of too little Terry Gordy. Like, yes. I feel like I needed him for like more than 50% of the Freebirds experience interviewing, and I feel let down by that. And I hope he returns soon to make up for that ratio.
Sadly, he will not. And in fact, Michael and Jimmy will leave to join him in Global that I mentioned earlier that Eddie Gilbert books. And let's just say there is a video out that depicts Jimmy Garvin as the most high on cocaine person that has ever been caught on camera. And when I say that, I know, shocking, right? No.
Nice.
It's really bad, okay? But it's beautiful. And so that's the future of the new Freebirds. Same as
I look forward to that video.
Oh, dude, I'll find it.
After this, we get Eric Bischoff with the Steiners.
Yes,
they kind of really just kind of glossing, blowing smoke up the Steiners' asses. But we do get a Road Warriors mention.
Yes,
we do get a Samoan SWAT team mention.
Yep.
We do get a Nasty Boys mention, and all of a sudden, like, I'm getting nostalgic. Because I'm like, now I'm fucking watching Big Josh and Brad Armstrong.
I know.
So it's kind of, just weird. And I don't have any resolution for anything that happened at the end of this. I just have Eric and Steiners, and then they just talk about, did anything come out of this?
Well, what came out of this is Rick Steiner with the biggest fucking dip of chaw in the world in his mouth going, we're going to take those titles because they got stolen from us. We didn't even lose them. We're gonna win those belts. And then they had to like do damage control because they forgot again that they switched the belts from Dustin and Steamboat to fucking Bobby and Arn, who weren't even the tag team. Like, they, even though the Dangerous Alliance is cooking and they're great and they're about to just kill it, they just still can't help but fuck around. You know what I mean? It's like, and listen, I'd rather see Bobby and Arn as the tag. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a positive, but it's also like no reason at all.
We'll be there in 2 matches. And the first one's fast. Yeah. We get Thomas Rich, formerly of the York Foundation. So that's how I found out they broke up, versus debuting Vinny Vegas.
Yeah.
Formerly, the artist formerly known as Oz, the artist formerly known as Steel, the artist formerly known as, I wrote down something here, dumbass. My guess is going to be that Thomas Rich did something dumbass in the match.
I don't know, man. It didn't last long to matter.
It's my only note was just dumbass.
I know what he did. Remember the match started where Vinny went, "Hey, come here," and he like went where he was going and got kneed. So yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
When your opponent beckons you and you follow,
hey, look at this fucking guy in the crowd, and then he just knees him. And I was like, what did you think was going to happen there, Thomas?
We get Eric and Paul.
Yes, this was great.
Paul keeps talking about they are going to be taking somebody out tonight.
Yeah.
They're going to take somebody out and they're no longer going to wrestle. And he says they are going to put them in the Magnum TA wrestler retirement home.
Oh, and Eric sells it like, oh no, like he cares, like he has empathy at all in him.
That was just a fucking killer.
Yeah, dude.
That was great.
It was great, man. Paul, and you know what? The other one is he alludes to Herd getting fired. He's like, I told you there was going to be board member shakeups when I came back, and look at what we got. We got, you all but said we got Kip Frey now. K. Allen Frey, excuse me. They haven't called him Kip yet on TV. And here we go, 6-man. This was awesome. I liked this.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't we want a 6-man title with a tag champs involved?
No.
Well, also, how about that 6-man title? Is that also still over? I just like so like oh my God, I'm just
probably gone.
I just put down 6-man LOL.
Yeah.
And then they mentioned the newly crowned tag champions. So we're like, oh, okay, that story happened, and that happened a couple days ago in Jacksonville. So shout out Jacksonville.
Shouts out, baby. No flow. I don't condone any other behavior, by the way, at all. Don't. It's a cesspool, but yeah, this was great. I thought Ron looked good out of this, even though he was absolutely the most third wheel in history of all of wrestling. Probably he was just there for the ride.
He has no, like I said, his charisma is like -4 right now.
Yeah, his Q rating is literally -70.
He, like the last 7 girls he asked out all said no.
They were like, who? What?
And he's just like, I don't know what I'm doing at this point in my life. What am I?
Barry Windham's giving him pointers, and you're like, wow, what? So we have a triple figure 4 at one point on the heels. Love that. Very lucha there. I like how the whole thing, and they even said it when it was over, Barry wins by hitting him with the fucking wrapped up hand. And they mentioned, they're like, they didn't work on the hand. Crazy. They didn't work on the hand. And that was the whole thing. It was like the reverse of usual heel psychology, where they beat the fucking baby face because they just wear him down and take advantage of injuries and their dicks. They didn't do that here. And it cost them their ass because Bobby Eaton ate that right hand. 1, 2, 3. Wasn't very long. And it didn't need to be long. Like, I would have been okay if it was longer because they're all 6 great. But it did what it needed to do. And now I'm glad because of what we get later that's better than this. So,
is Jesse now on the mic, or does he just get in the mic for the main event?
Yeah, well, it's just next.
Yeah. But like, was he on the mic for this 6-man?
No, he comes only for the main event. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Shivani's in the back with Barry, and he's talking about how you're gonna put me on. Not very many men come back from having their hand fucking slammed in a car door, and I'm like, that's a weird comment to make. I mean, I guess like how many?
like 13 men have tried to come back from a slammed door in a hand, and you're number 4. I guess. Yeah, I guess its percentages are okay. I guess I don't know.
And I was in the figure
about 37%.
And I was in the 4 Horsemen. And everyone's like, you're really riffing on this floor a little too much. And there's only 3 of you. And Dustin, hey, how unnecessary was it that Dustin was in the background for this? I kept looking at him and he wasn't making any face. He's just like standing there sweaty. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? And Rod's fucking working. He's going, yeah. And he's like flexing to the camera. Like he's doing everything he can to stay over, man. You can see it. Like he knows. He's like, I am the most non-essential human right now in this fucking equation. I gotta figure something out. So yeah, it's awesome.
Is Teddy gone now?
I think Teddy's gone now. And if he's not
Okay.
gone, he's like, I don't know what he's doing, man. I think
It's just that whole thing. Like I said, Teddy was always weird. He'd have like a tag champion and cost him the titles. He'd be so weird. Our main event.
Here we go.
Steve Austin,
Yeah.
Rick Rude versus Ricky Steamboat and Sting.
This is great.
Rick at the beginning of the match. Rick Rude is famous in the beginning of his matches with his like 12-pack of insulting the crowd. And he called us a bunch of cable watching couch potatoes.
I loved that. Yeah. And we were, so it worked.
Yeah. And we get Jesse on the mic with JR.
Yes.
Which is a goddamn delight. Because Jesse knows every button to possibly push. I have here hashtag goddamn it JR. Steve Austin's dad played football for Rice. Bro, it's fucking weird enough that the junior highs that these people went to. Like now you're stalking their parents.
It's insane.
That's kind of fucking weird. And then Jesse said something that was such a funny joke that it's easy to miss. He said, I don't remember the last time Rice was in a bowl.
Yeah. And he just
I'm like,
know what to say.
I'm like, it's a double entendre.
Yeah.
Rice bowl, come on. And literally, that's the thing. Jesse gives it back to JR, and JR is just like, he has no comeback.
Nothing.
He's like, I can't keep up. He's not Bobby. He's not Gorilla. He can't bounce back. He's used to Tony Schiavone sitting next to him.
Right.
Or Bob, right? And so it's funny kind of getting Jesse in there because Jesse, he blows up the heels, calls out they didn't tag there, to when the faces do it. And it's great. We get Rick avoiding Sting, which is great.
Yeah.
What the title?
Awesome.
I don't want to invoke you.
Yeah, no, and then JR has his own little factoid. Apparently, Steamboat and Stunning Steve were both rookies of the year. Don't know if that's all true, but I do know that I think with Austin that was actually true in '89. So that's interesting. And I mean, when they're in the ring together, it's great. That ends up being a pretty evergreen WCW mid-card match going forward. I mean, God, all the way to '94 when Steamboat leaves. But yeah, I love that the whole psychology here is Rude's actually a wimp. And as much shit as he's talked, he is terrified of Sting. And they just keep that going.
And I'm going to focus on the announcers again. It's a great example of that conflict because JR says, oh, Rick's avoiding Sting. And Jesse's like, wise move.
Yeah.
And JR asks, why?
What do you think?
It's just like JR is just saying shit to say shit. It's like, why would you avoid your opponent? Because you're avoiding your opponent. You're trying to avoid injury. You don't want to get hurt. There's 47 reasons I can give you right now, JR. Hopefully you'll get one of them.
I mean, yeah, like just basics. Yeah, this is
okay.
Crazy.
I believe it's Rude at some point gets Sting or gets Ricky in the nuts. No, Sting. He gets Sting in the nuts. And again, another wonderful double entendre joke. He said, I think Sting is a soprano now. The singing in Roxanne is going to be at the soprano level. And so he even goes Sting to the police to bring that joke back. Like
Jesse.
Jesse's working on like this level above JR. And Bobby Heenan worked at that same level. And it's just funny. You get these little jokes in there that just hit different,
That's what WCW had been missing forever. I think he fits that sort of that niche that like we haven't had since like Cornette and like early Paulie, and he's starting to do it again, Paulie, but like that just like not just like playing that right on the razor's edge of comments. You need that because it makes it real, you know? And then like just like you said, like the Sting singer thing, like he was still current, genius. And it's just,
like Jesse knew what the hell was happening in the world.
Yes. And it's a shame JR was so fucking weird. You know, I don't know what the deal is. It's like he's one of the really complex people, I think, in wrestling history, because on one hand, he's so vital and important. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, people argue he's the greatest announcer of all time. I don't know, but he's definitely up there, right? Like he's top 3 at least. But he is kind of a piece of shit, right? Like there's enough stories I think that we know of that it's like, okay, we can't definitively say what his problem is. Like I'm not gonna like sit here and say he's for sure a racist or he's for sure a sexist, but there's enough stories about both that it's like, oh, he's at the very least a really just like not a fun guy to like work with every day.
I'll put it this way. Anybody who's working in that back office with Vince for that long of a period of time knows shit that went down and didn't say shit.
Yeah.
So I'll make some judgments for you on that level as well. I'm very strongly inclined in those situations. I just think I'm like, somebody was on the text message. I said to my wife yesterday, because one of the conspiracy theories with the Epstein files is that Paul Walker had discovered what was going on. It was going to expose it, and they killed Paul Walker with the car. And it's just, I don't know where I was going to originally. I just wanted to bring up Paul Walker and the suicide thing.
That's good. That's perfect for the show.
But like somebody at some point had to be invited to the island for what was going to happen and said, not my thing. Mm-hmm. And there had to be multiple people who said, not my thing. And what the fuck did they do? Yeah. And not go to somebody. Like if you were like, hey Jim, I got these videos, I'd be like, bro, I'm fucking reporting. Like that's right. You know what I mean? And it's just like somebody had to decline it at some point.
Yeah.
And to me, it's kind of the same thing here with Vince. He had to send a text to somebody to say, oh no, I don't want to see that. People know and don't say shit.
For sure.
I got a problem with that. You know what I mean? And JR, because I was in that backseat enough where I know him and Vince didn't get along the best always, but enough to know what fucking was going on. Bruce Pritchard, fucking same thing. Like, you know, all those Mike Lace, all those scumbags.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
My big one always is the Bellas. Because if Johnny is your stepdad, you have, I don't know. I don't want to get to like it's just weird. That is fucking weird to me.
This is what you get, guys, when we record late night. You know, well, late night for me, I guess.
Sorry, Jim got the bowl and the Jack and Coke in. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, baby. No, I'm fucking right there with you, man. I think there's no way, there's no fucking like plausible deniability, man. There's just not when you work that close to somebody. Come on, dude. But you know, the finish here.
This match ends. Yeah. This match ends, and the ref does not care about the rules.
No.
It is a AEW tag team match for all intents and purposes because no rules are paid attention to at the end here. I think there's like
just right, buddy.
Just finish it. Just finish it, guys. We're at top of the hour. Finish it up.
Yeah, dude. So just fucking Steamer. I wrote Steamer as the shorthand here, and I know there's connotations, but hey. Anyway.
Also, literally, Steam is only 2 extra letters, by the way.
I know, whatever. Steamer fucking gets caught by Steve, and he's got a bad wheel, by the way. And they work that into this because he kind of, you know, he struggles, and then Sting's on the top rope, and he just fucking leaps onto the back of Steamer. And they both pin him, like you said. The ref's like, fuck it, who cares? Who cares who's legal? We got to wrap this up. This is TBS time here. And did you notice this show was like an hour less than the usual clashes? I think that becomes the norm going forward. I think clashes just are 2 hours now instead of 3.
I'll be honest with you, 3 hours is kind of tough.
It's fucking rough, man.
I mean, I even said a TV schedule back in that time. It's just an awkward time frame. So,
Yeah, man, we gotta watch Inside Edition and shit, man.
but overall, like I said, there was kind of like fun stuff in this one.
Yeah.
Like there was things I really did enjoy, and not that many. The things that sucked were fast, at least.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, the very, very end of this was the Dangerous Alliance whooping that ass. They fucking cleared the ring. There was like 58 security guards. Even Paul E was throwing him over the top. I thought, oh my God.
You feel like something's on the way. We've got Steve with the title. We've got Rick with the title. We've got Larry and Arn with the titles, or whoever with the titles. Like it's kind of cool where you get like they're the bad guys. They're the new horsemen, but like 8 of them.
Yes, there's like 4 million. And that's that show. Our next show, we do our little preview here, Super Bowl II, Leap Day, February 29th in Milwaukee. Ooh. And which I feel like is
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Very weird market for them, an AWA town, traditionally, kind of weird. But they fucking get like 5 grand people in here. That was a weird way to word that. 5,000 people here. Apparently monster number for the WCW at the time. And we have confirmation it is going to be JR and Jesse calling the whole show. Very exciting. I remember loving this show as a kid. Looking at the fucking card.
Oh my God.
We got DDP and Big Josh in the dark match. The opener, one of the greatest openers in wrestling history, Jushin Thunder Liger defending the light heavyweight title. See, as a kid, I don't remember him having the belt coming in for some reason against Flying Brian, the former champion.
It's WCW. Yeah, he might not have a belt.
They may not have it there.
They may not have a belt.
Fuck, we never know. Marcus Alexander Bagwell against the Tailor-Made Man. Oh, buddy. Cactus against Ron Simmons has some potential, I feel like.
This next match, the Z-Man and Van Hammer versus Richard Morton and Vinny Vegas, it gets a negative half star from the Observer. So I can't wait to see that.
Z-Man's in
for the 12 minutes that it lasts.
Oh my God, what is with these match times? Barry and Dustin Rhodes against Larry and Stunning Steve. Very weird tag here. They just were like seeing what stuck here. It feels like they just didn't even know what they were doing.
I feel like with Larry, they're just like, they signed Larry to a 14-year contract, and they're like, they're 2 years. They're like, we don't know what to do. We'll just put him somewhere, but we'll figure it out. I don't know.
We got to figure something out with this motherfucker. World Tag Titles, Arn and Bobby defending against the Steiners. That feels like a setup for disaster there. U.S. title. I remember this being, I believe, the match of the night. I couldn't be at all surprised if it is. Rick Rude defending it against Steamer. And
Observer has it less than 3 stars.
Well, but Dave's Dave.
Match Guide has it. It's Cage Match has it 717.
Yeah,
which is the second highest after the light heavyweight.
That feels right. Main event
feels right.
Lex shows up to work, defending that world title against Sting. We all know what the deal is here. But great card coming up. I feel like this is really the card that gets us into the all right, WCW actually has legs, because that's another thing I did want to mention. I mean, there was real conversation that WCW might go out of business here, which is kind of strange. You're like, nah, that's really early. Nah, even in early 92, they're like, should we pull the plug here? I mean, you think about it. They're losing a lot of money, man.
Bro,
yeah.
Have you looked at the next stretch here?
No. Oh God,
it looks like I think the next one is. I'm seeing the next thing is War Games on May 17th.
Good Lord.
I'm not sure if I see a Clash before that.
Probably not.
Next Clash I see is 19.
Jesus. Wow. Well, there you go.
Especially when we've been watching it. It's going to be it's hard to kind of figure out how to watch all this stuff anyway. So
I know. And that's the thing, we might get into a dark period with this thing where, we just got to dive into the show itself. And
I tell you the good stuff to watch if I catch it. I'll be like, hey, here's a good match, and figure it out.
Yeah,
but
we'll do it. We'll do it for you guys.
The dark times.
Yes. Per usual, social medias. Jim, best name of all time, the JIMDB. It's evergreen. I am Trouble's Rest everywhere in the world. I've got an up scrolled now. I don't even know what that is, man. Just when the shit comes out and like somebody that I know hustles and knows this shit, it tells me like, hey, old man, get this. I'm like, all right, we'll get a fucking up.
You just want to get your name on lockdown because you're sick of all your weird names.
Yes, I gotta do it, man. Now I'm obsessed with it because it's so much easier. Yeah. So that's what I got. I don't know what you got.
I got nothing, guys. Be safe out there.
Be fucking safe. And lose yourself in pro wrestling. It's good for the soul. Take it easy.